Hi there! Here's a new monthly segment for you, the Master Duel NR format and newsletter. Here I'll be updating you on how the format's been going, from what decks are topping, to what new cards we have, to what is upcoming in the future, both including events and cards we're going to see on the horizon. As we mark the first year since Master Duel's release, we're kicking off with a special event in the NR Discord, or the boss stage, called LR format. Throughout the month of February, we'll be running events where you can include ultra and super rare cards, but specifically from the solo modes and legacy packs. I'm excited to see what people turn up with, so make sure to check it out, linked in the description. And while you're down there, subscribe if you feel so inclined. So what's been going on in NR format this January? Well, we can start by going over the latest ban list, which came into effect on the 17th. Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon was always a very powerful and at times oppressive card, being one of the few easily accessible negates in the format, and was banned a while back. This list, we're experimenting with allowing him back into the format with the removal of Performapal Odd Eyes Dissolver and Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon. These are both powerful cards in their own right, and they were how every deck essentially was making the Vortex Dragon. Without them, it's not really possible for every Pendulum deck to just go into Vortex. This change restricts his use to essentially just Performapal, which needed a power boost. Majesty's Pegasus was banned some time ago when Magispector was really doing numbers. Now, Mass Magic is still a powerful deck, but its performance has been down a bit recently, and with some powerful cards potentially coming soon, we're trying out Majesty at 1. FA Hang-On Mac was limited for the sins of FA Metal Foes, which is probably like the 4th best Metal Foes variant now, eclipsed by the likes of Unchained and True Draco. Tenyi Spirit Vishuda has been a powerful card since the start of the format, and with Tenyi decks on the rise in recent months, it's become a huge threat to have those 3 extra copies of Compulse on hand, so we're just removing a copy to see how things go from there. Finally, Dragon Maid has been doing very well, and Tidying basically has the same issue as Vishuda, being a very powerful bounce as well as its second effect. This slight hit should just reduce the grind of the deck a little bit. So let's take a brief look over some of the interesting decks we've had top this month. We've had a pure FA list top actually, insane really with Hang-On Mac limited at the time. They make use of a hefty rank 4 pool, which is still the most versatile extra deck pool in the format, and they have a lot of available space to fit in generic spells and traps, like MST, Wall of Disruption, and Paleozoic Dynamicious. After a bit of absence, Plantixie is back and making great use of the recent Predaplant support, with a decent link pool and some strong XYZs that not many decks are able to go into. Another deck with a lot of free spots to fit in cards like Torrential Tribute, Lost Wind, and Jack in the Hand as a cool consistency tool. Something to think about as we go into the upcoming cards segment in a moment. Level 2s are showing just how good they are right now, with even Ojamas managing to break into a top. Mannequin Cat has been an absolute house recently, and with every deck they're able to make level 2s has been abusing it as much as possible. Here we see Dragon Maids also showing their versatility as an engine. Finally, we'll look at a more known tier deck with Tenyi Dragon Maid. This got first place in one of the No Riches tournaments this month, and it's not hard to see why. With access to cards like Vishuda, Tidying, and Ballpark, they're able to go into Rank 4s, Monk, Berserker, and even Mannequin Cat, alongside the big bodies of the maids themselves. They are a force to be reckoned with. Okay, so before we get into the final segment, being our upcoming cards for February, I'd like to take a moment to talk about Master Duel, who's recently been running some NR events with the Boss Stages ban list. We're thrilled to have the input of OCG players on the format, and I'll link their account in the description as well, so be sure to check them out. Upcoming cards. Let's talk Selection Pack. The current Selection Pack expires in about 2 weeks, and with the recent ban list hitting Union Carrier and Toad, it's pretty obvious that Spright is on the way. So where does that leave NR? What impact will Spright have on the format? This massively depends on which cards we get. Konami's been making most archetypes very expensive in recent selection packs, so I don't see us getting very much. I think the spread will look something like this, and honestly, this might still be insane with just these 5 cards. All of the Spright spells and traps are super strong in a low power format, and being able to summon 3 level 2s, including negates and an honest effect, in a format already making great use of cards like Mannequin Cat, it's going to be interesting. As for other cards we might get, there's a lot. Tearlament isn't that likely, I don't think, but anything from the Dark Magician support from Battle of Chaos to Pit Knight early from Power of the Elements could be coming, but there's no way to be sure. So there's your quickfire newsletter for the format of NR for the month of January 2023. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.